This week in Digging Up Positivity. Furry conventions raising money for charity. A fandom coming together to help those down on their luck. An upcoming furry comedy. And a lovely interview with this year's winner of the Good Furry Award, Kite. And stay with us till the very end of this video, where I will reveal the winner of the property damage game on Steam and do various other announcements. This month has been filled to the brink with not just regular fundraisers, but also a whole lot in the spirit of this rainbow colored month. Something we, as a fandom, can be very proud of. So, let's be like a meerkat and dig in. In Columbus, Ohio, USA, the critters from AnthroOhio raised $8,258.75 for the Ohio Nature Preservation. And in the UK we have Confuzzled, where, just with any other conventions, they had some troubles during the registration. But when life gives you lemons, these critters make the best combustible lemons to grab life by the tail. They took that batch that holded the whole thing and sold it for £2,000 sterling. And with this, they raised $50,875.67 for Wolf Watch UK. One of our previous featurettes, organizer of many events and lovely photographer, Shutter, has found his hotel room broken into during AnthroOhio, where not just his wallet but various tech equipment was stolen. Currently $4,050 have been raised to cover the damage by grateful furs everywhere. While not covering the cost entirely, it does warm my heart seeing someone who is not exclusively busy at the forefront and in the limelight getting some love from this fandom. A regular returning rabbit when it comes down to racing for charity, Romeo with a Radio Rabbit Hole managed to raise $500 for ALS research. And here you see him doing the ice bucket challenge. Go rabbit, go! Every year, amazing furry artists come together to draw furry art to raise money for the following LGBTQ charities: Mermaids, the Travel Project, and Milos ni Vilkusha. They will be going the entire Pride month, while barely halfway they already raised $2,000. In Washington, USA, the Aard squad raised $5,070 for the Wanda Elston Foundation, a local charity organization dedicated to help the homeless LGBTQ+ youth, to provide them with a chance through education, job training and guidance, and so much more. Meanwhile, all the way in South Africa, Afrifur raised $471.18 for PACT, the Phoenix Animal Care and Treatment Center, established in 2012 to provide care and medical treatment for animals in the Phoenix area in South Africa. Within the fandom, several furs are making an active living from the fandom itself, either from art, selling merchandise, or making content. Odin Wolf is amongst one of the more known YouTubers with a business on the side, but unfortunately, during one of his visits to a convention to sell his merch with a friend, his trailer, which was still quite filled, got stolen, and to make matters worse, he even got badgered by one of those cringe YouTubers. Well, but the fandom came together, and fortunately, the damage got covered through a GoFundMe, raising $11,825, but of course, I'd rather just, people don't steal stuff in the first place. But hey, some reject this imperfect world and start to build their own. And furries have shown that they can do just that and much more in VR. One of the go-to places is Furality, and they recently had their virtual convention and raised $17,811 for the Equality Florida Institute. A lot of amazing furry streamers banded together during Trans Charity Week for the cult of Blahaj. Like previous guest Sherbert, but also its Maple Doe and Sonic God, and so many more. Together they raised $7,200.69 for the Trans Empowering Project. StratosFur returned this year and raised $3,195 for Give Us Paws, a non-profit service dog and pet dog training organization helping veterans suffering from PTSD, MST, but also citizens who are otherwise disabled under the Americans with Disabilities Act. Ducky Dalmatian is a fur who got a spinal injury in 2019. However, ever since he has been very active in adaptive sports. While he never considered himself quite the athlete, many do, and for the sports he plays he requires a sport wheelchair, and so far he has raised $616. Some conventions have their favorite charities, returning several years. And sometimes it is difficult to say goodbye to one of those. For many years, AnthroNE has supported NEADS, a non-profit organization devoted to raise and train service dogs for people with disabilities, veterans, or children with development disabilities, amongst others. In total, they have raised $36,850 during that time. But now it is time to pass the bones to Wings of the Dawn, a wildlife rehabilitation center and a bird sanctuary. We do wish them all the best. With all the new announcements, one of my favorite conventions that is on my bucket list, Confuror, has announced their new charity, Nutrias de Mexico. They seek to promote the conservation and study for otters in Mexico through scientific research, integration of local communities and environmental education. The announcement was accompanied by wonderful art by Almita Otter. I am sure we will hear a lot more about this later this year. I am proud to announce the new charity of Eurofurence, You Animals. Before the Russian invasion of Ukraine, they were already quite a successful animal rescue organization in many ways, but during this dreadful conflict, they have devoted themselves to rescue animals from the hot zones. As a member of the Eurofurence charity team, I will promise I will do my best for this wonderful cause.
You've arrived at your destination.
Alsjeblieft nou. Available now, the Artwork Tee Pride collection. Use discount code PRIDE2023 at checkout until June 30th for 25% off all Pride merchandise. Seriously, where am I? A long time ago, I often watched videos on Cracked, who made quite some fun videos back in the days. Two of the creators behind a lot of these are Swaim and Aard. Recently, they closed a successful crowdfunding campaign for a movie project. And it is going to be a comedy based upon one of the creators' dads coming out as gay back when he was 17. In this case, the main character, Trey, is initially quite happy for him. However, when he also reveals he's a furry, attending conventions as a cartoon bear named Papa Bear, and who is collecting drawings of a nature that I cannot show here. And on top of that, the news travels fast, reaching Trey's school, and when his father invites another fur to crash in his guest room, things quickly reach a boiling point. What ensues is going to be a crazy comedy aimed to explore the many myths around furries, LGBTQ members, but besides that, showing love is love, but don't shy away from the fact that love takes some work. At the time of writing, the campaign raised over $70,000, passing the goal by over 5,000. This month, with Digging Up Positivity, we have the winner of this year's Good Furry Award, Kite, Windswept, wanderer. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for having me on your channel. My name is Kite, and I run a channel called Windswept Wanderings. So I guess it's less of a title and more of a channel name, but I'm kind of known as one of the premier archivists of the furry fandom, but I'm also a streamer, a content creator, a fursuiter, and I do a whole lot of other little stuff. But most people probably know me from my convention footage and a little bit from my streaming.
And from convention footage, indeed, I have been using your footage from various events like in the Furry Charity Index and of course previous episodes of Digging Up Positivity. But with all your amazing things, everything had a beginning. How did you get to know of the furry fandom?
So it's definitely a story and a half. So I've been in the furry fandom for over 20 years, and I know I sound extremely young and suave, but my first exposure to furries was actually through RuneScape when I was like 11 years old, and that kind of spun things off because back then, anime cat girls were all the rage, and back then, furries were kind of a thing that was really hard to figure out. So, when I met an actual furry through RuneScape, it kind of launched this crazy, 20-year journey through the fandom. Oddly enough, I didn't have a fursona or anything like that until very recently, until the pandemic. I kind of was just, furry adjacent. It was one of those things where, I like anthro characters, I like cat girls, I like anime, I like furry content. Everybody loves Crystal from Star Fox. I can go on, furry stuff was great. But kind of how I got started was, I bought this fursuit head, from China during the pandemic, and that is a story in of itself. I got this head from a college student who was kind of struggling financially. They were selling their suit, so I was like, yeah, I'll buy your suit. And, I had to pay a pandemic COVID shipping charge, which was actually kind of more of a bribe to actually get Kite over here. And that was kind of my first fursuit. I was like, well, okay, I have a fursuit now. I guess I'm technically a furry. I can do fursuit stuff. And I kind of really got into the fandom after one of my friends was like, hey, VTubers are a big thing. Do you want a live 2D model based off this new fursuit you have? It could be your character. It could be your brand. It could be your persona. And I was like, yeah, sure. That kind of sounds like fun. So really, it feels like the fandom kind of just found me and kind of just threw itself on me. And in a way, when I throw Kite on, it's kind of, they just kind of became me after a while. So becoming a furry is, it's kind of a weirder route than most people take. But even though I've been in the fandom for 20 years or so, I've only really been officially a furry for the last 3-4 years.
Oh, but this is one of the myths that keeps on popping up. You don't need to have a fursuit to be a furry. You enjoyed yourself in the furry fandom for years before that. And that is something worth mentioning. Speaking of all those... Yeah?
Well, 100%. I do want to say that because it's a question I keep getting. Can I go to a furry convention if I don't have a fursuit? Do I need a fursuit to go to a convention? Am I a furry if I don't have a fursuit? Yeah, no, you don't need one. Less than, 15, 10%, somewhere between that, furries actually own a fursuit. I think it's way more important to engage in the fandom, draw art, make characters, make stories, have fun with people. Don't think a fursuit is some weird delimiter that if you don't have a fursuit, you're not a furry. I mean, in my case, like I said, I've been a furry for, kind of unofficially for 20 years before I got a fursuit. So don't think a fursuit is 100% a necessity, even to go to a furcon. The thing that I love to tell people is go there as a normal person, treat it like a safari, check out all the cool stuff, and then decide if you want a fursuit. Because trust me, it's a huge investment, both financially, mentally, and spiritually. Because I'll tell you, I'm definitely dying in this fursuit right now.
Oh, that makes two of us. But with all those years of wonderful experiences, what sticks out? What has been your favorite moment in the fandom?
Oh, that's such a hard question. Like I said, I've been in the fandom for a long time. I've had a lot of friends. I've had a lot of fun times. The thing that really sticks out to me, though, is definitely Anthrocon's first furry block party. Because before then, I've always been kinda on the side of, oh, I don't want to interact with normal people, and they treat us like a sideshow, and it's like, oh, this is weird. I don't want to feel weird as a furry. But Anthrocon's block party, it really kind of showed me there's a different side. It was an excellent event. People could interact with furries. Like, it was fun. Everybody was having a great time. There wasn't anything that just stood out to me as being like negative or bad or something. It was one of those moments where I'm like, wow, this is actually a really fantastic event. And I almost feel like I kind of grew as a person during that event, filming that event, seeing how people were interacting and having fun and just vibing. Like, that was probably one of the best moments I've had in my career as a furry, for lack of better terms. Just because it really showed me that, there's also spaces outside the fandom where we can, have fun, be furries, be more normal even.
But what is normal these days? But
exactly.
Speaking of all those things that you're doing, now I know what inspired so many people to vote for you. With that, I have to congratulate you with winning the Good Furry Award. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Definitely, and it is a great honor to receive this award. I haven't posted my video on it just yet, but I do want to say I have gotten the trophy. It's a very nice trophy. It's excellent, and I really want to thank Papa Bear for the opportunity to represent being a good furry. How it kind of happened was somebody nominated me for the Good Furry Award, and they're like, hey, you should check this out. You're a good furry. You're awesome. I've nominated you. Maybe you should talk about it a little. And I was like, yeah, let me put up a community post. Let me talk to my community about it. Because I was like, I'm a good furry. I'm a good person. I do nice things. People say nice things about me. And it kind of spiraled out from there. Like, my first community post on that got like 1.5k likes and like 500k impressions, and it really went far. And I guess it just goes to show you that when you sit down and build a community around, positive influences, showing the memories and happiness of the fandom, and making sure everybody's included, I guess that counts as doing a good deed. And I'm still surprised. I feel like I'm still in a little bit of shock over receiving the award, but it's something that really means a lot. I can't put into words the amazingness of my community for actually going out and voting. Because, as a fellow content creator, you know that it's impossible to get people to like, comment, subscribe, hit that like button, do the notification, and share the videos and all that. Like, for them to go to a different website and actually vote, like, that warms my heart and means so much. And I can't put into words just how I really couldn't have done it without my community, even though we think of our content creators as these monolithic figures. Really, I'm glad that I could give back to the community, and the community felt it good to call me a good furry.
Yeah, because you were facing quite some titans of the fandom. And but all in all, I must admit, it's fair and square. I looked it up. You've earned that, and I do congratulate you with that. But with this, yeah. Oh, go on.
Oh, yes. I was just going to say, and like you said, there were some really huge big names, but hopefully one day I'll be considered among them with the work I'm doing. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not a year from now, but maybe 10 years from now, people will look back and be like, wow, this is an amazing thing that we're doing for the fandom here on my channel.
Well, that is one of the things you archive, and thanks to you, a lot of these amazing people are in lovely videos. But with this wonderful journey that you've had with all those years inside the suit, outside of the suit, behind the camera, do you have any recommendations for people who just got in the fandom?
Oh, definitely. Well, the first thing I'll always say, because I get this question a lot, I get this comment a lot. People will argue over what a furry is, and whether you need a fursuit to be a furry. Do you need a fursona to be a furry? I've never been a fan of labels. I've always been a fan of speaking your truth, being what you want and doing what you want. I don't think you have to be a furry. I don't like a card-carrying furry. I think it's more important that you enjoy anthropomorphic characters, that you enjoy the fandom, that you enjoy your friends and the content they produce, and the memories that you bring together, and the memories that you can enjoy throughout all these years. So when people ask me, what should I do when I just got into the fandom? I'm like, go enjoy it. You don't need a suit. Go to a con. Enjoy that. Spend time with your friends. Make up stories. Make OCs. Make characters. Make sonas if you want. There are no rules. Express yourself. Find the way to speak your truth and make those memories shine. So when you look back like I do after 20 years of being in the furry fandom, you could be like, wow, I sure remember all those fun times at my first furry convention, or, oh, I really loved the Anthrocon block party, or, oh, I remember that one panel where the host said something funny and it just brightened up my day. Like, go out, do things, experience life, don't worry about what it means to be a furry or to be in the fandom or whatever, because honestly, the most important thing is to have fun. And I think a lot of people forget that we're funny mascot performer guys in suits and we pretend to be funny animals. And I think it's way more important that you enjoy being a funny animal person than worrying about what your label is attached to you, you know?
So true. So true. And with that, I would like to thank you for taking your time in this blistering heat to go into your fursuit and have this lovely conversation with me. Thank you very much, and I hope to work together with you plenty in the future, and maybe even share a drink with you on a future convention, because you visit quite a lot of those. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for staying with us. And here is the announcement of last month's winner of the Property Damage Steam Key. I grabbed all the comments and assigned them with a number, and thanks to the Google random number generator, the winner is Ile Brus. Thank you very much all for all those lovely and funny comments. Ile, please do contact me before the next episode. And speaking of which, yes, I will be interviewing a world famous mouse. Well, world famous in the Netherlands. She is an amazing fursuit builder, but more about that on the 29th of July. Would you like to see more Tabo goodness? I will be streaming almost every Monday on Twitch. And if you want to support the channel, please do check out my artwork tea store with some lovely merchandise, or toss a coin for your meerkat at Patreon or Subscribestar, like the following amazing critters: Cosmic with a K, Els Dekkers, Falconeo, Ansana, Isnula, Manic, Tantru McNally, Tyros, and Score Chaser. And remember, love you all, stay awesome, and all the hugs.